Okay, welcome to the balance sheet for Freda. This should be pretty simple to whip down now. Let's have a little bit of a look. The thing with your fixed assets here, they always come first, and we need to put over here what they're worth right now. Okay, so in the question, the easiest way to do it is to have a look at what our equipment is and what our P for D is. Because remember, to find out the net book value for your motor vehicles or your equipment, you've got to take the cost there and then minus away the P for D and the new year's depreciation. Okay, they need to be minused off. So it's the cost minus that minus the new depreciation, and that will give me my new balance of my fixed assets. And in the exam, what we do is we just slip that into the last column. Okay, just put the new figure for equipment in the last column, and when you minus it off, it is 5,500. Okay, you need to do the same for the vehicle. Remember, we brought it for 9,000. We do the depreciation and we whip that off, and we get 6,750. And again, the total there is 12,250. Okay. Oops. No, it's not. 12,250. Okay. I've made a bit of a mistake there. Let's make it neater. 12,250. Okay. Next thing is we want to list all of our current assets in the question as well. So you need to look at your list. All right. Let's have a look down our list. We've got stock, our closing stock. It's the one that everyone always forgets, and it was 21,000. That's the figure at the bottom of the trial balance. Then we want to do our debtors. Okay. And remember, we had provision for doubtful debts. So what we've got to do is minus that away from our debtors. Again, if we just have a look at our trial balance, where is my debtors? There it is there, 7,700. But don't forget, I need to take away the answer to that calculation there. Alright? There's my debtors there for 7,700, and I'm going to minus off my new provision for doubtful debts. Okay. When I do that, I'm going to get a net figure for my debtors of 7,448. And that's all you need to put there. Okay? Right, we need to keep trucking on now. We've got our adjustments. So remember, if you go back and have a look at your adjustment sheet, that one there, you'll be able to find your current assets off there to use in this current asset section. And I've got insurance, prepaid or prepaid insurance, however you want to say it. Electricity prepaid. And I've got the accrued commission. Alright, it's accrued commission, and those were for 300, 200 and 500. And then I've got my other current asset, which I've just missed, was bank, for 4,950. Okay, now when I add up all my current assets, again, I apologise for not ruling a ruler. Alright, when I've got all my current assets there, I'm just going to add them up and put the answer there. When I add them up, I get 34,398. Okay, now I need to minus off all my current liabilities now. Okay. Again, my current liabilities, I've got my accruals from my adjustment sheet, as well as creditors, and of course, the one that they want us to forget, which is the 10% loan. Because remember, it was due for payment in the next financial year, making it a current liability. And then I've got my accrued general expenses, for 230. Alright? Okay, so when I add those up, I'm going to get 16,460. Alright, and what I do with my current assets and my current liabilities is just minus them away. I could have done these in this column here if I had a third column, but remember in the exam sometimes just getting the numbers in is more important than layout. Okay, so I've got my current assets less my current liabilities, and that answer, 17938, is what I'm going to call my working capital. Alright, now what do? Well, that working capital now is ready to add to my 12,250 for my fixed assets. Okay, it's a positive number, this working capital, so I want to add it together. Okay, and when I add those two together, I get 30,188, and because I don't have any long-term liabilities to take off, this becomes my net assets. Alright, and again, because it's an important total, I'm going to underline. So the first half of my balance sheet is done. Now comes the really important bit, making sure that my capital section equals that answer. So, what was my opening capital? Well, in the question, the opening capital was 45,541. Alright? To that, I want to add my net profit. But unfortunately, I made a loss. So, when you add a loss, you're actually supposed to minus it away. So 4,003 was the loss. That's what I brought through from my profit and loss, and that answer is 41,538. Right, so then I've only got one more thing to take away. That's what the owner takes out of the business. When the owner takes stuff from the business, it takes your capital down. So that's 11,350 once I do my adjustments. And I get my closing capital of 30,188, and hoorah, big smiley face in the exam, you have got everything right. Okay, now remember, press for time, get the numbers in. If it doesn't balance at the end, it's not the end of the world. If your net assets don't equal your closing capital, it's not worth crying about. It's one mistake, it could be whatever, it doesn't matter. Make sure you get all your answers in. Make sure you've used every single part of your adjustments list. For example, as I've been going along, I've just ticked off the items. I haven't left anything out. I've made sure I've used it. Okay? And then you're well on your way to a really good grade in this paper.